And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening is a talented motivational speaker. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Jerry, the Boss Brown. Welcome to the show, bro. How you doing?
Man, how are you doing? I'm doing outstanding. Outstanding. Doing
I hear that. That's great, man. So, first of all, thank you for joining me. When I invited you, you jumped on it quickly. I respect that. You're a man about your business, which
absolutely.
is it's it's 100% fascinating. Um, what inspired you to go on this journey and become such an amazing motivational speaker? How did you start?
Great question. And thank you for plugging me in like that. I really appreciate that. So but how I started this journey in speaking, it just basically, to be very honest with you, me waking up January 2019
Mm,
from a voice
mm,
scared me. When I say it scared me, you know. It scared me to the point where I woke up, I looked at the clock, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. 8 a.m. I wasn't tired. You know how you get up, you look tired, you stretch, everything like that. But when I got up, man, when I heard that voice saying, "Hey, you need to be speaking," I woke up filled with energy, and it got to the point where I was so shook. I called my cousin. He lives in
mm,
Charlotte, North Carolina. So I said, "Cuz, man, you would never believe what happened." I said, I heard a voice, man, said I need to speak, and it scared me. And he basically told me, that was the voice of God talking to you in your sleep. So when I heard that, you know, I just took suit, I just one foot under the in front of the other, and I never looked back. I just followed, man. And I always say in my videos, while you hear, you just a vessel. So when
mhm.
you hear something, when you feel something, you follow. You don't question. So ever since then, January 2019, I just been speaking and getting better by the day, by the week, by the month, by the years, man. So that's how I started. That's how I started.
Boom. So you heard it, you were sleeping, you heard a voice, and that's a common voice because I've heard that voice too. I've had it, I've heard it, many of times throughout, my life, right? And we're like
hmm
we, and it's also so difficult to this. It's like so simple to describe, but yet for people, some people to understand, it's difficult, right? It's you're sleeping, and you hear this voice, and it's like a switch of a light, off, on, boom.
That's it. It was literally that simple, man. And I remember I recorded my first video in my car, just like I've been doing right now, right? I how I started, that's that's the wave that I'm moving to, right? So, and it was just amazing feeling in everything that it's a journey. Let me say that. It's a journey
Yeah,
because you take on a lot of people emotions when you're doing it. Because that's the great thing about it. Because I want to hear stories. I want to hear sorry. I want to hear people what they've been, what they are going through. And if I could have this mustard seed of strength or advice or a word that I can just pour it into them, that's what I'm going to do.
mhm.
That's what I'm going to do. So, man, since then, I never looked back. And I can just say this, bro. I'm truly blessed to say that.
Amen
Truly.
to that. Amen to that. And it's I like it because your motivational speaking, when you do your videos, creating your content, it's so like it's so organic, it's so natural, right?
right.
It's and we're like we're almost, and I put myself in that category too. We're almost dividing ourselves from people that want to create this whole creator thing platform to tell you something.
Right.
Rather, individuals like ourselves, we're just gonna tell you it's real, it's raw, it's raw, and I think that's what I think that's important.
It is. It is. And I can tell you this, I'm 37,
Mm,
right? 37 years old, I'll be 38 in July. Um, my past, I would have never thought that I would be speaking. Never would have thought. Um, and being this motivational speaker is a gift that was given to me January 2019. The crazy part is, my upbringing, my background is sport. So I always
mm,
play sport, you know. I would play basketball, football. Football was the main objective, but I didn't make it to the league for some reasons on my own that I created. But since then, but I always been that person that that never hated. I
mm,
never hate. I always been that person. If I didn't get it, you got it. So I'm gonna be your biggest cheerleader. And the problem with the people today is they don't want to be. Yes, you can be. Let me say this. Yes, you can be the leader,
mm,
right? Yes, you can be the leader of your team, but a lot of people don't want to step down for that leader and be on the front line, right? And let someone else take. I'm not
mm,
afraid of doing that, you know, because when my team wins, yes, I'm the face of get out here and operate, but I want my team to be where I'm at financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Ain't nothing gonna change about me, man. I'm still the same person, but I changed my circle, who I run with, because you would have seen me, let's say 12 years ago, man. I was in there, like I was in a bad place, you know, doing the wrong things, homeless
mm.
twice, you know, but I never lost that drive, that faith, man. So when I kept that with me, um, many of times, and it got, man, I can remember it got so low for me, man. It really got low for me when I could remember, be very, very honest, I was literally about to take my own life.
Mm.
I had a 2-year-old daughter that was born, working at a job selling mattresses, making 20 a year, probably $20,000 a year, living in an apartment. After I pay the bills, I have literally $20 in my name, or until I get paid in the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
other
yeah.
2 weeks.
Grind. Yeah, yeah.
you know. So I was like, bro, I'm like, man, like when I'm gonna get my shot, or when it's gonna change around for me, man. And I remember calling my mother, and I had a Glock 9 on my lap, and I was like, "This it. This is it for me, mom. This is it, man. This is it." So she was like, "Man, with my nickname, man, by the way." So she was like, "Man, what are you talking about?" I said, "Mom, I'm about to shoot my own life because everything that I do, it's like when you take you take a step forward, take a step forward, and something good is getting ready to happen, right?
Yeah.
Take that step. It can be a small step, and then something happened and transpire in your life that pushes you back and stuff. And I was just getting tired of it, you know. Um, but yeah, she was like, "Man, don't do that." She called my aunt Shirley, God rest her soul. She prayed with me over the phone, and I'm just boohooing crying. I'm just boohooing crying. And I'm gonna tell you how God works too, man. Boohoo and crying. I got a call from a good friend. Her name was Quandra Adams. Um, she hit me up at about 3 a.m. in the morning and said something told her to get up and call me. She was asleep. She came over, told her what was going on. I'm still boohooing, my crying, man. I'm gonna tell you what this woman did, man. She literally filled up my gas tank. This is three something in the morning. This before COVID, right?
Mm,
Pre-COVID, when we
pre-COVID,
can go,
yeah.
when you can go to Walmart, and then Walmart was 24 hours, right? So, man, took me to the gas station, filled up my car, took me to Walmart and filled up my refrigerator, bro. And I was just at all, like, thank you, because she didn't know what I was about to do, you know. Then around close to like 4 a.m., I get another friend of mine named Sharetta Richards. She reached out to me and said, "Yo," she said, "JB," they said, "JB, I woke up out my sleep because someone told me to wake up. Something I heard a voice telling me to wake up." She called me. I told her what happened. She said, "Jerry, I'm gonna take you to church." I went to World Overcomers right here in Durham off T.W. Alexander. And she was like, "I'm taking you to church Wednesday of next week." I thought she was lying to me, because she lived in Charlotte. And that drive to Charlotte to Durham is 2 hours drive.
Yeah, yeah.
And I lied to you not, man. She was here Wednesday and she called my phone and asked where you was at. I said, "I'm at the house." She said, I don't know if we can cuss on here, but I said, "Bring your ass." She said, "Bring your ass that's here." So I got in my car. I got in my car and I went there and Pastor Andy Thompson that day when he was preaching. I felt like he was preaching to me, talking to me, and I'm crying too, man. I'm a Cancer, so I'm a very emotional person. A very emotional person. So crying, and I can say this, man. Next week, that next week, I got saved. I saw my old self in the water. Next week after that, I left the mattress house, started working for Spectrum, used to be Time Warner Cable at the time.
Yeah,
Went for
yeah.
making 20 to 50K a year. I was been there 7 years, collectively 7 years. And now I'm here to this day now working and being this motivational speaker and having my own company and just blessed. Sorry I went so long, man. I
No,
want
no, don't
to
apologize because it's just this is this is what we need because men we go through it. How do I even say this, man? We go through so much and yet we say so little.
absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Your story, right? Yeah, first of all, it's not that you didn't make it to the big leagues, is that it wasn't your purpose. You got to go through these obstacles, these up and downs to get your place. You know,
Right.
like I tell you right now, like I I had a real difficult upbringing like yourself, right? And like 2 years ago, I started doing jujitsu,
Mm.
and nowadays people do it because they're on that mixed martial art hype. Everyone wants to be a fighter, right?
Right, right, right.
And when I went there, I did it for mental health, right?
Mhm.
You know, and it it broke me in a way that I needed to be broken, and where I needed to accept things I cannot change, and that's God for the strength and courage to change the things that I can. So, it took out after a year, 2 years, it took out this hole of rage I had, and where now I just had a empty hole, right? And I found myself just being sad, and I didn't know how to be sad because growing up in the environment I was, rage is what just gave me the courage to survive, to overcome, to pursue, and I left this empty hole within me, and I found myself just sobbing for no reason, just breaking down and crying, right?
That's that's
Right. And until I realized, I'm not crying, I'm mourning
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because everything that has transpired in my life, I've, as a person, of people, as men, as women, we have to give ourselves time to heal. We have to go through those emotions.
Absolutely.
It's easy to say, yeah, I'm either sad or I'm angry and just move on for it and keep moving and find things in here and there to distract our mind. But those things continue to be there, right?
Correct.
So I was mourning, and some way on form, I found my way to, God, right?
Come on, man. It's
And,
real.
yeah, and a lot of people will say you go to therapy, go to this and that, and I've had, but it wasn't satisfying. It's only until I started reaching out more, building these relationship, and we're like, everybody tells you how to build a relationship with God, but nobody really knows how a relationship with God goes, right? How to
Right.
build that
Right.
fundamental,
Right. Right.
and it only starts with you reaching out. It only starts with you acknowledging that something that's there, because you could go to God, Allah, has many names, but it's something there that woke you up and has waken me up many times, right?
Mhm.
And we're here now.
Come on,
So,
man.
don't apologize, because we need more of that. We need able to talk about things we're going through as men, husbands, boyfriends, fathers, because if we don't talk about it, we will know if we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing.
Correct. I
you know
got you.
because because we live now in 2023. We live in a world that everything's gray and everything's undecisive, but one thing that continues to carry on is that when you're right and wrong, that's black and white. That's never going to change. You're either wrong, or you're either right and right, and that does exist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what I say? And just taking on the topic as men, um, it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable because the, at most men upbringing, we are taught to survival mode. Some of us survive.
Hmm.
That's where that rage come in because I was angry too. You know, is that hey, I need to get one up on this. Okay, I can't do this because I didn't have no one there for me. I was hurt. I had people talk about me. I had people go behind my back, steal from me.
Mm,
All these things that we are taught to hold in and not knowing that it's tearing us up from the inside, and it's affected us on down the road, right? When
yes.
when you want to be better and have emotions, you just now you acting off rage. Mike Tyson said this. 'Cause being a motivational speaker, I learned from a lot of people. I listen to a lot of people, watch a lot of videos, and Mike Tyson said this and it stuck with me. Mike Tyson is a very smart individual.
Yes.
And he said, once you allow anger to control your emotion, the devil is no longer your enemy. He's your basically your king. He's your God. Because you're allowing things that you can't control, allow you to act or and respond in a way that if you had the right mindset, you want to respond like. So that's and it's easy said than done because you have been, I mean, not you, but people
Hmm.
has been stuck in this rut thinking over and over, I should act like this, but at certain times you don't. You really don't. You really don't. And I have to learn that because one thing about me, my demons are still here with me. Your
Yeah.
demons are still there. They always going to be there. One thing about the mind is the mind can't think of two things at one time. It can only think of one thing. So when those bad thoughts start to arise in your head, stop thinking about start think about some goodness. Think about that grace. Think about what you have done because no day is a bad day. You might have a bad moment,
Mm-hmm.
and out of that bad moment, you you responded in a way that you shouldn't have, and different moments out that day became bad. But that one bad moment, if you responded in a different way, I guarantee you when it gets to that 9, 10 o'clock, whenever you about to go to bed,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be like, man, I had a great day. I just had a bad moment. Bad, come
Mm-hmm.
on. And it's amazing. I can really sit here today with and talk with you and be open. And one of my demons that I still fight with to this day, and I still can't believe that I'm a motivational speaker. Elementary school, I couldn't talk. I had a bad stuttering. I
Mm.
couldn't enunciate words. They literally had to take me out of class so I can learn how to speak, pronounce words. And some words to this day I still cannot say or pronunciate. It's because of my I don't even call it a disability no more. I call it uh 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 a bucket of truth, a bucket of strength. So I can look back and say, man, I came a long way because elementary through middle school, you know how people used to pick on you ride a small
Mm-hmm.
bus,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
man, I got picked on, man. I couldn't speak. Every time I say a word, I stuttered, you know, and they literally had to take me out of class and work with me. And now to this day, I'm the best. I say I'm the best motivational speaker in North Carolina, and I'm only getting bigger.
Mm.
So if Jerry Brown, aka JB the Boss, the biggest, can come from that, come from not be able to speak, come from being homeless twice, come come from having a scholarship to play ball, then having your scholarship taken from you, um, coming from about to end my life, about to being broke to now having my own business, having a wife, having a house over my head, having a great family, having finances where I can afford to pay for my daughter's things. If if I can get through that, and I tell people all that pain that I went through, all that pain that I went through, get a reward,
Mm-hmm.
get a reward from it. If you allow anything in your life to keep you down a day or even 2 days, matter of fact, I give you 2 days to mow, cry, do whatever to get it out your system. But if you feeling that same way a week from now, if you're feeling that same way 3 months or a year from now, then it's no other person's fault except yours.
I agree.
Dig, dig deep and use that because you can't change it, but you can actually change how it makes you feel. So use it to catapult you to greatness. Use that pain that you have been through. And I hate when people say never look at your past. No, you turn around and look at it and you face it.
Mm-hmm.
And once you face it, you look at it in your face and you don't flinch. You say, hey, I'm taking over my life with a real Jerry Brown. Please stand up. And once you clarify that, it up here,
Not
then I
just not
guarantee
yeah, not just face it, but acknowledge it.
acknowledge it, man.
You know that
Accept it.
I was talking to this man. I remember it was my first, second semester, right? I made this I had to do this speech, right, in speech class.
Right.
And excuse me. It was called The Reminder. And I remember growing up, my grandparents had a bar growing up in Puerto Rico, right? And I met this one gentleman, at the bar, and then years later when I finally went back, you know, I saw this man again, and he was sober after many years sober after being on an alcoholic and whatnot. And I asked him because I've always had a good relationship with him. You know how I asked him how is it being sober, and he said, he thought over, and he said this: being sober is being reminded of every messed up thing you did every day when you were drunk. So therefore, now at that moment, he did the steps and worked on himself. He has the courage now to confront, face, right,
Hmm.
the things, wrongdoings, the things he thought he did wrong. And
Right.
he's not denying or overlooking, but acknowledging, right?
Hmm.
It's like you said before, we all have demons. You can either, man up or woman up and shake, the devil's hand and say, this is a chess game. We're gonna do this. Or you could continue and ignore him and let that drive you crazy and continue to live a life and where you're not happy.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That is, oh man. You don't know what you, you really said something um strong, right? When you say when you when you ignore him, when you ignore the devil, and he's going to drive you crazy because a lot of people don't understand the devil is an angel too, right? The devil is just like God as well. Know that, you know. He grants things as well.
Mm-hmm.
It would give you things that you have prayed for because he hears you too. So when you on your knees and you praying, he hears those exact same prayer. But what he would do though, because it, let me say this for people out there that's going to listen. If you don't know the three things about the devil, let me tell you what three things about what he seeks to do. He seeks to kill, steal, and destroy. Three things. Three things. So if he cannot kill you, he's going to try to steal. If he cannot steal from you, he's going to try to destroy you. And you asking JB like how? How? Okay. So you pray for whatever you pray for, and you get it. Because the devil knows if you get this thing, your mind is not in the right place because you only want it for a certain reason.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to give it to you temporarily, then he's going to take it.
Yep.
But when I tell people when you in that space and you in that space where God gives, that's a blessing that He's going to give you, and that blessing that He gave you is going to turn into another blessing. But that devil gave you to is just going to turn into a curse. You know, so we have to get out. We have to have the right mindset and do it for the right reason and help people win. That's why I do this motivational speaking, man. Because when I'm in my bag listening to ET today, it was like 1, 2, 3 beast mode. 1, 2, 3 beast. Everybody want to be a beast. And before you leave here today, I need that switch. I need that switch to that beast mode to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
That's my speaking, man. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot turn it off because I can. You know what's funny? I'm gonna say that. You know what's funny? Um, People say when I talk, I should be a minister, right? I should be in the church somewhere preaching, right? So, but I'm like, I can't. I don't see myself as a preacher. But he was like, and another one of my mentors, he said, you know what, Jerry, when you minister, when people say, when I say ministry, that don't mean in a church, right? When you can just be talking to someone, you minister, you know. You can sit at a bar and you talk to that man that was sober and he came back to you. He's ministering to you and told and gave you advice. That's ministry, you know. Man, I'm so passionate about this, and I found a lot of people walk this earth without finding it, and because it's a lot of dead people walking. And what I mean by dead people is it's a lot of people out here in this world literally look out your window. They walking up and down the street, go to the gas station, the mall. Most of those people are dead already. And the reason behind that is because they live in a life that's not theirs.
Mm-hmm.
They live in a life that's not theirs. They walking in someone else's shoes and not theirs
Mm-hmm.
because they haven't found that why. They why is not strong enough to overcome another person's pride. So uh, people out here doing everything in their power to make that person money or make that person thrive in a way that you hurting yourself. You wonder why you stuck. When people realize, say, get in here. One thing that's controlling your life is your mind. Your mind is every. People need to understand. Once you understand your mind and you can control that, tap into that beast,
Mm-hmm.
tap into it, and once you tap into that beast that's been laying dormant, it's that little voice that you hear all the time that you overlook because you don't have the courage to go down. You don't have the courage to go in that attic where it's dark, where you can't see anything, where where that uncomfortable feeling. Once you get there, and once you be be comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's when that person becomes so dangerous. That person becomes so dangerous to a point where you vibing in the way and you want a certain type of frequency that people cannot see, but only you understand it. And now your gift, that passion, and that wave that you ride in, opportunities are starting to open it up for you because now you don't even care about. Not when I mean not. Let me rephrase that. Not I don't mean not caring about, but you don't care about what people say to you or how they perceive you. You're walking in your now. Guess what? You have died and now you are born again. It's time to be born again. Time to be born again. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I can
that's a
go.
beautiful that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing because you asked me like, I feel like the world needs to be broken to be able to to be able to come back together. Like a lot of today's society, don't think for themselves or easily influenced. There's a lot of things that not are not important, like money, right? Money is a tool, but you know, certain individuals think that's everything, right? You're chasing a bag without a purpose. It's a marathon you're gonna lose,
Every time.
right? So like, when has money ever bought you more time? Never. Money's just gonna buy you things to do with your time.
Time is the most valuable thing on this earth.
Exactly. Um, we're not thinking for ourselves anymore. We're easily influenced. And when we get to those moments and we're like we can't think and we're acting irrational, the best thing we could do is nothing because that shall pass, right? And
Seasons,
yeah, 100%,
season, season.
100%. Everything shall pass. And I think that's the difficult part. finding that, understanding that, getting to that point, because sometimes we need to go through our own journeys to find where we're going. You
Be
know,
willing to go through. Be willing
exactly, 100%.
to
And some, I think the problem is everyone wants the quick validation. The likes, the love, the appreciation, the money, but nobody wants to work for it no more.
go. Ooh, Kevin Hart. Everybody want to be famous, but they don't want to put the work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had it's crazy because I had a discussion uh, a good friend of mine, Nick, and he's pursuing to be an actor, which he's very talented. He can actually be big, and I told him, you hustle to be seen. I want to hustle to be invisible. I don't
Say that one
everything
more time, bro. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
he he's an actor, right? He's a talented actor. He has the potential to be something great. Um, but I told him he hustles to be seen. I hustle to be invisible. You get what I'm saying? Like my purpose goes, deep as a well-established roots within the tree, the growth of the trees, right? Goes deep. You know, I understand the game now.
Right.
I understand that you have to play it. This is chess. The powers may be want you to make a false move so that you make a mistake.
Come on, man.
And this is where now, like you said, going back to what you said, and where they're just walking dead people, right?
You know,
And
people on that show, Walking Dead, that's you.
yeah,
That's you. You're looking at yourself.
exactly. And I don't. It's only through. It's like the Bible. You walk through the shadow of the death. You have to walk through the shadows and be able to make it different.
Are people just saying it or they living it? Tell me about, man, you just said you just dropped another bar. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Are you just saying it or you really doing it? Which one is it? Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you really living it or you just saying it because something happened? Come on,
Mhm.
get me hype. Get me hype. You get me hype.
So, and only through the shadows we can make the true valuable changes that we want. You know, because not everything is about actions. You know, Sometimes our actions speak loud and hurt. It hurts ourselves,
Hmm?
and we lose more than we want to lose, and it hurts us. You know, and only through sitting down and doing nothing and actually thinking, because we need to think. You know, when you're speaking, your inspirational words as a motivational speaker, you have to think this to get that message across, right? So therefore, in order for us to progress and get to that certain level, to be the person we want to be within 5 years, 10 years, the person you're destined to become tomorrow, right?
Right.
We got to be patient. We got to let that simmer. We got to let build, right? Like I watched this quote today, and where it says, you know, the version of hell is like you meeting the person you should have been. And that all day, I saw that today, and that all day has stuck with me because, there's certain, I have a certain image of myself as you, right? As you
Right.
know, each individual has of progress, of better, and it drives me crazy a little because like I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh,
Oh man, I can
because
go
I gotta,
even
I,
deeper.
I gotta get there. I
I
gotta
can go
get there.
I can go even deeper. Let me piggyback off what you said because you said something remarkable there. Man, sensational. You said the version. What you say? The version of hell is looking at yourself What you just say? You said looking at
The
your
version of hell of the version of hell is you looking at the person you should have been.
looking at the person you should have been. That's your version. Let me go even deeper. You on your deathbed. Les Brown said, you on your deathbed. I don't know if you heard it. Les Brown said, you on your deathbed and you got these people around your bed about to see you off, but those people is not your family members. Those people are versions of yourself that you didn't put that time. Go back to that time. You didn't put that time in to
Mm,
invest. So all those versions and people, versions of yourself standing around you on your deathbed, they gotta die with you
mm.
because you didn't act on. Man, come on, man. I think you should be speaking. You dropping, keep dropping. Oh man,
Nah, man, I leave
I'm
that
gonna
to
take that.
professional.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna take that tomorrow.
Hey,
I have to say that. Man, I'm gonna have to write that down. I don't have a
but it's it's like like Mike Tyson said, right? Like in order to get here, we had to go through all this, and we can only hope we've learned what we needed to learn in a short period of time, so we don't lose time, because time is the most valuable thing, and sometimes you just got to sit and watch. I oh man, I enjoy. I'm an introvert, right? I can be I can be that person that comes in and steals the show. I can have that, but I know that's not me. I'm the type of individual. I like to sit down and I like to watch how life moves. This person, how this person, if I'm at a family's party, how this person acts, this other person, hey, you want to dance, right? Or how a mother's being kind to their children, or how a father it's speaking to a potential wife, right? That's life happening, and you sit there and study, and everything's so predictable, but yet everything's so like spontaneous, right? And I enjoy that, and that's all you need to see what's you don't have to be predict the future. You don't got like everything falls into place. You can see things happening within a mile away, and all you have to do is sit, silence, and see it, and see it. And man, that's why I did this. That's why I started this. It's never been like I decided a while back, and we're like, I don't pay for advertisement. I don't promote, because the way I see the thing is I don't want to be another trending topic. If I'm creating valuable content, that content will allow myself and the individual I'm speaking to strive for the next decade to come in. As you can see, everything is short. You got your reels, you got your YouTube shorts, you got your Facebook shorts, you got everything is short. It's only short time to digest something. And sometimes we need more than that, right? And I don't want myself or the guests I have to be another trending topic that's going to be like gone in a blink of an eye. The work, the practice, the craft, the time consumed and continue to forge that sword to cut, right, cannot go unnoticed, cannot be denied. You have to see, and you're gonna shove it through people's eyes, mouth, ears, whatever, but they have to understand that greatness is not, it's not just, you don't get to choose who's great, just like you don't get to choose who compliments you or gives you your props.
right.
Nobody's ever gonna give you the value you deserve or the credit you deserve. Nobody's ever do that. So you have to find and will yourself, and where you got to clap for yourself.
Hey, that's my motto. Clap it
Hey,
up. Wrap it up for yourself. Find that why and value that. When you find that why and value that, your value has to be strong enough than an excuse.
Yes.
Your value, that why has to be strong enough, stronger than an excuse. That why has to be so strong that this is the reason why you do it for mommy and dad. This is the reason why I'm getting up 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning because of my family, because I want them to have the life that I did. This is my why is more important than than me feeling a type of way. That's a feeling. That's an emotion I can get rid of just like that. I can
Mm,
control that.
mm.
How? Me getting my ass up. Excuse me, my friend. Me
Don't
getting my
worry about
tail up and go out here and operate.
it.
You know. So in that case, man, find that why you find find and it's there. Like guy, like my brother just said, that time just sit there, be patient,
Think for yourself. Yeah.
just think, and it's there. It's gonna show itself. It will. I promise you. And once it shows itself, have the courage to grab it. And when once you have the courage to grab it, have the courage to hold on to it for your life. You fight like hell. Because now that you find it, now that you have grabbed it, you have it on you. The devil's those demons. It's gonna stop. It's gonna come in your path, man. But you have that. You have God's grace. You have God's wisdom, and you just stop leaning on yourself. I, you mastered the word I. I walk through the valley. Yes, you mastered that, but it's another level to it. It's the we. It's the we. That's another. Yes, you have mastered. I walk through the valley. Yes, you mastered. Let me clap it up. Yes, you mastered. But now I want you to lean on me. You cannot go all the way by yourself.
Hmm.
And you can't go. You can't go uphill with a downhill mindset. And, and man, I'm in my bag. Yeah, I'm in my bag. I'm in my bag.
Yeah, man. Listen, it's been an honor talking to you. It's been a pleasure. It's been an eventful journey of motivational speaking. I enjoy every minute of it. I enjoy every minute of it. I tell you that much.
Man,
Uh,
let me say this. Thank you for having me on.
Now it's an honor. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being. You know, it's rarely I find somebody and where I invite them and like that they're quick to it.
Hmm.
So thank you.
God sent you to me, bro. So when someone hit me out the blue and I seen that, first thing I said was thank you. Let me see if it's real. Let me go ahead and hit him up and say, man, I'm ready when you ready.
Mm,
You know,
yes, sir.
I'm ready when you ready. So again, uh, uh, thank you, bro.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me, man. I hope. Matter of fact, I don't. I'm trying to take what I'm learning now is to take hope and wish out my apple. And then I'm gonna tell you why I did. We can go ahead and close just for the simple fact is God on the sixth day created you. Now He rested on the seventh. But on the sixth day He created you. He blew breath in your nostril. He blew breath in your nostril, gave you life because you are a dope person. Okay, and you so dope. He stood back on the seventh day and says you're good. So don't ever hope and wish for anything. Never hope and wish for anything because you have a fraction of God's power is flowing inside. So from this day forward, try to take hope and wish at your vocabulary because you have a fraction of God's power inside of you. So you command everything. Once you command it, you go out and go damn go get it. Go out here and operate.
Boom. Amen to that. Amen to that. Jerry the Boss Brown, baby. You already know. Tell the people where they can find you at before we go.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook, Jerry Brown. That's with the J, Jerry Brown, like color. Instagram, same thing. Type in my name, Jerry Brown, with the J, Jerry, or type in JB the Boss. That's JB underscore DABOSS 336. That's JB the Boss. The biggest in this motivational game, the best motivational speaker in North Carolina. Better believe it. Have my own podcast coming to you very, very soon. Have my clothing brand coming to you right now. Like I said, find your passion, and your passion is going to open more opportunities for you, just like it did me and my guy D. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Boom. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Go support him. Go follow him. Go check out his content. He has amazing content, amazing inspirational words on his Instagram page. And don't be afraid to like and subscribe to DIOTALK TV. Go follow me at Mr. Dream Inspire Team. Check out the website, dreaminspireteam.com. And there you go. Have a good night, guys. I'm out. Boom.
Nice.